Hi folks, it's been quite a long time since I've recorded any kind of video, and as we're living in very interesting times now, I thought I would try something completely different. This one is more of a video for teachers. Most teachers out there, I'm pretty sure, in the same boat as me, and looking to do online lessons, looking at learning new skills, new resources. And if you're anything like me, then you probably struggle a little bit with that. Some things we can take too easily, some things just take a little bit more time, and that's okay. On the screen in front of me here, I've got this particular website or app. It's called Formative, or the website is goformative.com. Something we came across as a department in my school about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I'm just sort of getting to grips with it now. I thought I'd share what it can do and how I've been using it. So one of the things it can do, exactly as it says there, is it can provide or help you to do real-time marking with students. Okay, so you set up tasks that are called formatives, and you can either do them offline with students, or you can do them online during a lesson, and you can try and keep up and give them real-time responses. But it's actually quite a powerful tool. And what's great at the moment, you can see at the top, they're doing a little offer on donating team subscriptions to schools, so you can teach virtually. I think they're doing that until the end of the academic year. I guess the hope would be that they would pick up some subscriptions after this online teaching, whenever that might be, and let's hope it's soon, folks. Anyway, so I'm going to log in, and I'll show you what I've been up to on here. So I'm signed up with my school email. If your school signs up, then you can use that, or not, you can sign in with Google, Microsoft, whichever it might be. So let's have a login. So when it comes up now, we've got two things on here that are important, I think. You've got your classes, and you've got the formatives themselves. You can see on the left hand side here, I've got a couple of different formatives that I've used. This is the one that I've just been making today, my year 13 chemistry paper. So they're doing it online. They don't have to do a GCSE this year, but we're still doing an assessment with them. So I've set it up on formative for them to do, and fingers crossed it's going to work. But I'll show you exactly how I set that up in a second. I click on the top for classes. Now I only have a couple of my classes set up at the moment. One is the year 13 chemistry here. You can see it's got 0 students at the moment. Basically, I've not got them to sign up yet. Getting them to sign up is super easy. Okay, I mean, if I was to add a new class, let's just try that. So you can see different thing. I can put in a class name. It needs an abbreviation. I can put in the grades. It's on the US system here, so 12th is year 13 to me in a UK system, but it's fine. So I put it in there, and when I click on this now, let's see if I can. Okay, it does say no students in the class. If I want to add students, easiest way to do this, rather than laboriously going through and doing your own adding, unless you've got everyone set up on Google Classroom already, which we don't use Google Classroom as a school. I can go to ads, and actually students can add themselves. Okay, they can sign up using whatever email. Usually the school email is much easier. And they can go to goformative.com/join, and they get to put in this code. So that's pretty easy to copy and then paste onto whatever you're using for your online learning in your school. Okay, so that would be how I'm going to get my students to add themselves to this. Oh, that's my other class as well. Don't need to tick that off. Okay, so more importantly, the formatives themselves. Okay, this is how we can set them up. So this original one, the atoms and isotopes I looked at, it was already on there. It looked fit for purpose, and my class, year 10 class, already used this. This is what I've set up today. I'm going to redo some of it now so you can actually see. So I'm going to put in a new formative. Just get that to load up. Okay, and I want the plus here. Okay, so what you want to do, or most likely what you want to do, is you want to enhance some kind of document, whether that's a Google Doc, a Word doc. In my case, it's going to be a PDF. So the PDF that I chose for this, and I'll just find it so we can get it downloaded. Here we go. Somewhere in here. So yeah, it was just it's the edited version. It's just a few exam questions. Here you go, it's downloading now. So it's from my exam board. I took a few questions from a paper. I've actually kind of edited and redacted a few bits out that they can't really do because formative doesn't lend itself to everything, to every type of question. But hopefully we'll be able to show you here. So now, there we go. Now this has all come up. It's processed exactly what I've done. It's wonderful chemistry. If you're not a chemistry teacher, fine. The same process is perfectly valid for everything. Okay, now all I need to do is just click on the image where I want to add in questions. So these first three are pretty easy. All I'm going to do is click anywhere. So I'm on question 1A part 1, or as the students like to say, 1AI. Never can get them out of that habit. Anyway, if I click on here, so now this is where I'm going to enter the question. So this is multiple choice. So I can just click on multiple choice. It brings up on the side here, immediately goes for 4 options, which is great. And all I need to do is to put in the correct one. Do I know which one is the correct one? Which one can't be oxidized? Oh yeah, it's the one that's tertiary for you, those of you that are actually chemistry teachers. There we go. B is the correct answer. Okay. I can repeat that process. I can put in another multiple choice for this one. Multiple choice here is hexantuar. I think it's A. I'll put that in. Okay. So the multiple choice is pretty easy. Then if I skip forward now, the first 6 questions on this paper were like this, but actually here we go. This question is calculate the atom economy. Okay, so that's as a concept in chemistry. You may or you may not know it, but it involves a calculation. So if I click on the side here, I'm going to put in a numeric answer. Okay, so I don't need to type a question on any of these because they've got the question on the paper. You can type in questions if you just had a diagram and you wanted to type in your own question. Perfectly fine, not a problem at all. Now all I want to do in here, I'm going to click on the show your work. So this gives students, when you actually see the formative itself, it gives them an area where they can work. I might show you that towards the end of the video actually. And they can, if they've got a tablet, they might be, or something like a Surface Pro, then they might actually be able to write on there. If not, they can type in some of their working, and it just gives you an opportunity to be able to do like calculation questions with you know, they have working, and you'd be able to look back and find the, you know, the conditional marking or the technical error, or however you would phrase that. So let's add in a correct answer. Now there's probably a few different ones. I mean, for the chemistry here, they can have a selection of significant figures that might be, you know, might be valid. I don't remember the exact answer, but let's say it's 64.3. That will do. So I could add another one in, 64.33 if they went for 4 significant figures. Okay, so that's that kind of question. So we've got numeric, we've got multiple choice. If I scroll through here a bit, oh yes, so this question 3, I only picked a part of this. This is just a short answer. Now I can't add a correct answer in here. This is going to require me to actually look back and mark with a mark scheme, but much easier than them printing exam papers, writing on notes, scanning them back again. I mean, that's just way too much work for the students. It's way too much work for me, and this just saves huge amounts of time. One option I haven't shown you is to put in the number of marks that this would be. So for this one here, let's make sure I change that to 5 points. Okay, and I'd be able to look at the mark scheme against that. Was there much else on here that was different? There's not. There's short answers, there's multiple choice, and there are calculation questions. Your other options, can't say I've explored all of them, but they're more for where you set the question yourself. So there might be a resequencing a set of answers. Okay, you can have an essay, Not totally sure what the difference is there. You can put things in categories. If you really wanted, I think this is a great idea, actually, is to do an audio response. So rather than having to sit and type, you could actually just get them to talk through their response. I mean, I imagine you get some interesting responses, some very concise and some somewhat rambling, but always worth a go. I mean, that is the point, isn't it? It's formative. You know, it's not just going to give us a summative view of what our students can do, but a formative view as well that's aimed at improving their attainment in the future. Okay, so that's the general process there. I'm going to go back. So I've got a couple of untitled formatives now, but what I want to show you is this one that was complete. There we go. Let me just check that I did the answers right. Oh, there was B and A. Good, okay. Now, the I up here gives you the preview. So that's actually, if I preview this, so I'm previewing it as a student on the side. I'm actually previewing it in the mobile phone kind of format here. I can't imagine you're going to want your students to be doing it on that. It's going to end up being way too small. So let's preview it as we'd see it on a laptop. Okay, and this is what they'll see. So they'll see the question number and they'll be able to pick out, right, B and A. Okay, very simple for the students to do. Let's go down to here. So we've got the numerical answer for the atom economy. We can pop it in there. That's the answer. If we want to show the work, so that brings up a whole pad here where they can actually show their work in. They can put in text, so you know, it was 63 divided by 100 equals what? 0.63, whatever it might have been. Okay, and then once I've done that, I tick it. There you go, and I can see my work on there, and you as a teacher will be able to see all of that as well. Let's have a look at a short answer one as well. I've not actually tested this myself, so perhaps we might need something slightly longer here. I mean, this is a 5-mark question. I'm not totally sure how long you can go with a short answer. So, molecular forces. I think I am learning as we go here. I don't really have the time to do all of the typing here, so I would suggest if it's a slightly longer question, you probably want to go with the essay style question. So I will go back and I will change this a little bit later. Okay. So, I mean, in conclusion, what you've got here is a really simple, powerful tool that can mark on the fly. It can auto mark for you, but you can also go into each question. I would show you some work that's been done, but I don't want to show you a load of work with student names all over it. And I could show you exactly the marking process. But once you've got a formative set up and you've got the students doing it, the marking process is extremely simple. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and tune in next time. Maybe we'll come up with a slightly different app.